Muten Speaks. Rise of the Ronin. What a hard fucking game this is. A lot of people don't like the game. And I get it. You know, you don't like the game because you don't really get it. Rise of the Ronin is not a Souls game. It is more it's I think it's its own thing at this point. It has a lot of depth. It has a lot of layers. It has a lot of customization. But this game is very hard. The video you're watching of gameplay is of Rise of Ronin. That is me playing. I'm not very good at the game. But this part that I was playing was too fucking hard, bro. It was too hard. And I'll tell you why it was too fucking hard. Now, I've beaten Sekiro. And I've beaten Elden Ring. And I've beaten Bloodborne. I've beaten a lot of hard fucking games. I put my games on hard. I didn't put this on hard. I didn't want to. And I like this fucking game. One thing I really like about this game is the setting. I love classic Japanese settings. And this one is, there's a lot of places to go, a lot of places to check out. The horse mechanics are dope. And I like the story. The story has surprises. It has flexibility, dynamic characters, and they incorporate gameplay mechanics to unlock the story or to give the story variety. That's a word I'm probably going to use a lot. Variety, variety, variety. Now, it's almost like the variety is what makes this game unique. And a lot of games with this amount of variety are kind of easy. But the way the game kind of allows the player to build the character, not just with which weapon you pick, but which, character you build bonds with, because that unlocks abilities and skills, and you do that through missions, gameplay mechanics, and each weapon has strong points about it, and it has weaknesses, and that goes into this whole system of sword style. It's a true swordsman's game, and they kind of give you good indicators. If you are watching the gameplay, you'll see arrows on the right side of the health bar, and this is telling you which style gives you a benefit or leverage over the opponent's style. Blue arrows pointing up means you have the advantage. Red arrows pointing down means you do not have the advantage. You're at a fucking disadvantage. And this makes a huge fucking difference. And I think a lot of people play the game with a lot of experience in video games, but they don't understand that this is not the video games that you've played. This ain't Sekiro, this ain't Elden Ring, this ain't Dark Souls. This is some other shit, bro. Now, I really do like the variety in the weapons, and each weapon gives you different abilities and your combos in real time. Like it's all about gaining experience with whatever weapon you want. You unlock abilities that way, and you get weapon proficiency. And as you gain weapon proficiency, you become better and you unlock more shit. You see how much layers this game has? So, all that to say is the hardcore gameplay goes as follows. You have to counter. Blocking is kind of useless. Sounds like Sekiro, right? But in Sekiro, you can kind of correct with your counter. You have like, because the game mechanic is a flick. It's a flick in Sekiro. You're flicking it. In this game, it's called, I forget what it's called, Counter Spark. And the mechanic is just so weird. It's just so weird. And you have to play in 60. I have to play in 60 frames. I can't play on graphics mode because the window of countering is based on the style you're in, and if you have the advantage or disadvantage, and timing. And it's like, okay, just learn the timing, right? Okay, now you've learned the timing of countering. Well, these are the rules, right? There's attacks you can counter, and then attacks you have to counter. And then there's combos that just because you countered the first hit in the combo doesn't end the combo. Now, that's hard. So you have to not only anticipate if, and this is usually for bosses or even mini bosses, you have to anticipate whether or not, okay, is this attack a combo? Because if it is, I have to counter like 3 to 5 times successively. Now, the gameplay you're about to see is me getting my ass whipped. I don't think this is spoiler shit because you have no context of who and what's going on. And the thing about this boss is they attack in such a variety of ways, and it takes a while to even learn the tell signs of what attacks is happening. You know what I mean? Like, okay, is this the attack where he's gonna do some combo? All the spinning attack, each spin is like a, it's a combo. And if you don't counter every single hit, you will get hit. And you will lose a lot of health, man. You can experiment and change your weapon and get different styles, and maybe your style gives you an advantage. See, right now, my style doesn't have an advantage. It's like even. So it's neither at an advantage or at a disadvantage. And one thing I don't like, it's like, okay, well, just hit him, right? And just roll dodge. Well, sometimes you hit them and they stagger, but most of the time they die. Plus, they have so many different moves that are unblockable, so you have to counter them, and you have to figure out, okay, this is an unblockable move, I have to counter which unblockable move. And sometimes they'll they'll have like the unblockable move is a combo, so you might actually counter one of the hits in the unblockable combo, but it doesn't matter. Um, and stamina bar. You can recover your stamina by tapping R1 right after you landed some hits, and you gain more stamina if you have more blood on your blade, which is dope. It has all these dope things about it, but it has a learning curve, and a lot of people don't appreciate learning curves. A lot of people will say, "Oh, this game has a learning curve," and I don't like it. That, they want the cookie cutter formula, but if you don't go by the cookie cutter formula, you're gonna have a learning curve on your game. Now this guy was just whooping my ass, dog, and I was just saying, "Yo, I have to counter the spin attack that goes into this fucking unblockable combo move. In each part of the combo, I have to like perfect counter these shits. And after that, I have to hit him. And I can't leave him in the corner because sometimes your attacks don't stagger him. And he can counter, and he can block, and he can throw shit. And guess what? They can heal. They can heal. I mean, that makes the game extremely difficult. And the reason why a lot of games can be difficult and satisfying is because it just feels kind of fair. But this game, it's just almost like it's asking for too much, because this guy is constantly attacking. You're constantly trying to figure out, okay, what is he doing? You see how I was hitting him, but he was still able to just roll. You can't interrupt things. But you can randomly pull out a pistol and just shoot him. And that's dope. I like that. You have a lot of options. But the conclusion is a lot of people probably don't know how to play the game. But it's worth learning because the story's dope. The character creation is dope. The open world has a lot of activities in it that doesn't seem like it's wasting your time. And they allow the character to be very flexible in its character creation. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if it showed my character ability sheet or the ability chart or whatever. But the abilities in the game that you use your stat points with a lot of them are useless. They're not gonna make, they're kind of like fun things to add, like, oh, you can throw a bomb, or you can unlock items at the store, or you do more damage with Kai attacks or Chi attacks or whatever. But the main point of the game, if you can't counter, you can't play the game. And it's okay, learn how to counter, but like if you ever see me do like a blue flash, like this move that my sword turns blue, and it's like a spin, like a cone, that's the counter. And it has like an animation that's too long. It's not a flick, it's this whole animation that you have to time, and you can't correct it. That's what made Sekiro hard and good, because you could correct the mistake you made when you're trying to counter. And blocking, I didn't block in Sekiro. Blocking was fucking useless. You still take damage, and it destroys your stamina bar. And this game is all about, you can't do nothing with stamina. If you get hit without any stamina, you literally get into the state where you can't move. So Go into this game understanding you gotta learn how to play it. And make sure you like and comment, questions about the gameplay, questions about the graphics, because graphics mode looks good, but because there's so much shit going on in the city, it just is running, it's chugging, and you have to play in 60 frames because the counter animation is just so fucking ridiculously long for it to be a counter. There's no correction, and you're fucked if you can't do it. Well, the Muten has spoken. Let me know if you agree, disagree in the comment section. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitch at afolklorelegend. I'm out.